All right, all right, all right. We are live on social media and we are going live onto three sites at this time. We are live on, where are we? We're live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube. And I want to welcome you to our special session. Good morning to you. Good morning, Natasha. Good to see you. Hey, Kayla. Kayla's here. It's nice to see you as well. We're doing a special segment here today to serve you on how to get unstuck. And that's our focus for this session that we're doing here together. And as we often do, we jump onto social media and we deliver a training, a partial training, and then open up for any questions that you may have. And I'm very blessed to have one of our team members here with us this afternoon. Well, actually, a couple of our team members are here. We have Kayla, who's actually on the on Instagram right now, and we have Roddy, who is here as well. And what Roddy will be doing is, for anyone that has a question, any question that you would love for me to address during our time here together today, please type it in. You can either type it in on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and so we'll get those questions. Kayla's also here on Instagram, so she may be able to, see the questions and send them over to me through text or through WhatsApp. And that's the way we deliver it. And so the start of this session today, I really wanted to address an opportunity, and I'll call it opportunity because I believe that's what being stuck creates for anyone who's feeling unstuck. And frankly, what I'd love to ask is there anyone who's on here with us right now, live, excuse me, who may be feeling, hold on one second, I got to plug, there we go. That anyone here that's with us live who's feeling perhaps a little stuck. Perhaps it's with a situation they're involved in, or in their career, or something in their life where they're just feeling like either they're not getting ahead, they don't know what to do, or they're just feeling like they're not inspired. They're maybe even having a challenge just getting motivated. Is that anyone feeling that? Yes. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the honesty, and it's not a sign of weakness, it's just is, right? And I really believe this, and I want you to understand this is so important, that when you recognize that there's some area of your life that you're not currently satisfied with, or that you feel a sense of fulfillment for, or it's just you're not getting the results that you want, here's how I would suggest you approach it. And this is what I would like to call a very healthy and a very loving approach. And hey, Catriona, good to see you. And that healthy and loving approach starts with simply recognizing what's going on, right? And I always tell people, be easy on yourself, right? So when there's a situation in your life, whether you feel stuck or whether you're not producing the results that you want or you're dissatisfied, just be easy on yourself. And then view that scenario as what I lovingly call an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to do a number of things. And sometimes those opportunities are simply to find the blessings, right? And you can do that by asking yourself this very powerful question: what's great about this? What can I appreciate about this situation right now? Now, you can very likely understand by asking yourself the question, what's great about this, or what can I, or what will I appreciate about this scenario right now? As you can likely tell, what that does is it invites a positive response, right? A response that likely feels good, or to some degree feels better than the way that you're currently experiencing or feeling. And this can occur in any situation. All right. And so you're looking at the situation where you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling frustrated, or you're feeling dissatisfied, or whatever, and just say, what's great about this situation? Now, the answer to that question, or what can you appreciate? The answer to that question could be as simple as, I'm aware. All right. I have the awareness and the understanding to recognize that I have this opportunity in my life right now. And that's it. It could be just simply that. But one of the best ways to move yourself out of a state of feeling stuck into experiencing what you desire is by absolutely having a goal or an outcome that is definitely desirable for you. Something that you would love to do, that you would love to have, that you would love to experience, that you would love to accomplish. Having a goal. Quite often people are, feeling that sense of stuckness or feeling that sense of disillusionment because they don't have a goal. Now, you may have had one before and you felt disillusioned because you didn't see the path, you didn't see the way to get there. But the truth is, you don't have to see the path, and you likely will not see the path. What you have to do is to decide, make a committed decision that you're absolutely going to accomplish that goal. Become committed to the goal. And this is all just a psychological experience that's happening in your consciousness. So you make a decision. This is something that I am committed to. And I'll give you an example of one of my own goals. Okay. So I have a goal right now. And I've had this goal before, by the way, and I'll explain why I've had the goal before and why I have the goal again. So I have a goal to purchase a beautiful waterfront property, and not just any, like something spectacular. And I've defined what it is. Now, I just mentioned I had that goal before and accomplished that goal. So does that mean it's not a real stretch goal? No, not necessarily. What I'm looking for is something extraordinary, something unlike I've ever done before, I've ever accomplished before. Do I know how I'm going to get there? No. And I understand, because I learned over 43 years ago, you don't have to know how. But when you have the goal that you've set for yourself that really truly does excite you, and when you think about having it, it just warms your heart and it gives you such a great sense of fulfillment, then what you do is that you begin at once to see yourself in possession of that goal. Now, what you can do is create an activity like a vision or a visual of an experience that would be an absolute depiction of you accomplishing that goal. So, for example, one of the things that I see for myself is I see a beautiful hammock, really comfortable, wide hammock that's really soft and has a sort of a couple inches of foam padding in it, like a really luxurious kind of hammock that is held between two trees on the property. And it's my favorite reading place. And I love studying. I love studying success. And I teach studying and study with a group of people in something called Club Achieve. And so, in this image that I have, which is a visual to experience the outcome, is the image. It looks like this in my mind. I'm laying in the hammock, kind of have a gentle swing going on in the hammock. I'm studying from one of the great books that I'm blessed to study from. And I can hear the loons out in the lake, making their gorgeous sound. And I can hear them. And so this is very vivid and real to my senses. And this is what you do. So a lot of people feel challenged when they're pursuing a goal that they've never done before. And what you do is, it sounds real simple, I know, but really what it is training your mind to hold the outcome with your imagination. And everyone has that. Everyone has it. So I think about someone that I know that I love and appreciate very much has a goal right now to do a significant modification to their existing home. And I'm going to use this one as an example. And so, what would I suggest to them to really see themselves in possession of that home? The first thing is to get a clear picture of what it would look like. All right. So, you've got a really, really good picture of what does that look like now that you're in your beautiful renovated home. And then every day you live in it in your imagination. Okay, in your imagination. And so, what does that mean? Let's say you've completely redone your kitchen. And now, when you're doing your dishes or you're preparing a meal, the view is a little bit different to what it was before. Maybe you've relocated things around the room or whatever. So, what would you be seeing when you're doing the dishes? So, even though you're doing the dishes in the existing kitchen, in your imagination, you're doing it in the new kitchen. You go to bed at night. And let's say one of the renovations is to have this beautiful big bay window that has a gorgeous view of the mountains and or whatever the view might be. And what you do is even though you're going to bed in the existing room, in your imagination, you're going to bed in your new room. And maybe in your new bed too. Maybe you got some new furniture to go along with it. And you fall asleep just feeling that joy and the gratitude of knowing, it's already done. And when you get up in the morning, you're living in your new home. You see, one of the teachings from Neville Goddard suggests that you must act as if and live as if your desire is already in your life. Now, that can be an interesting challenge for many people because what most people are doing is they're looking at their present results. They're thinking about what's frustrating them, or they're caught up in an energy that just doesn't invite them to see a bigger picture or a bigger opportunity. And it could be an attitudinal thing. It could be a lack of discipline thing. It could be not utilizing your imagination thing. It could be one of those things, none of those things. It could be something else. But we are all in control of how we think, and we're always in control of how we feel. So when we think a thought or we think about a desire, it's like it sends that message out to the universe. And it lets, when we make a decision, like we lasso it in and we make a committed decision, this, I am absolutely committed to, it sends that out to the universe. Sorry, I'm just checking the power on my computer here. There we go. And then by our feelings, by the way we feel, knowing that we're feeling that genuine sense of, I'm so grateful to have this or to be doing this or to enjoy this or whatever it is. By our feeling, we draw it to us in our life because we're energetic beings that's expressing energetic energy that's like a magnet that will draw back to us like energy. So, one of the most valuable things that you can do is really pay attention to what you're giving your thoughts to and where you're putting your heart energy. Okay? So you want to be making a conscious decision every day to only be thinking about the things that are in alignment with the way that you would love to be living your life and feeling that alignment. So, how do you get unstuck when you're stuck? I know there's some questions coming in. I'm definitely going to get to those in a minute. But how do you get unstuck? One, make sure that your desire is a desire, your dream goal, whatever you want to call it, is something that you'd really love. Okay, make sure it's something that you'd really love. The second thing I suggest that you do is write it out on a card, a goal card or a demand card or something that you can carry with you wherever you go. And you write out your goal as if it's already done. I'm so happy and so grateful now that, and you have that goal clearly written out. Okay. And then you want to look at that goal every single day. Now, remember, you don't have to know how, you don't have to know what to do. But when you are in alignment, meaning you're feeling as if that goal is in your life, you're going to be attracting the things to get you to where you want to go. And then you'll start thinking of new ideas. Maybe you'll start thinking of, I know this architect. Or, I remember seeing this particular property. It's not on the market, but I'm going to go and knock on the door of the person who's selling it. Or you'll see an email land in your inbox and it's exactly what you're looking for. And the other thing I suggest is to keep yourself motivated and inspired is to be feeding your consciousness and feeding your mind with only things that are going to support you. And that would involve studying every day. And you can join us in Club Achieve because we study every single day, except the weekends and statutory holidays. And also create a power life script. A power life script, which is a detailed description of your amazing life written in the present tense, full of emotion, so that you can record it and listen to it every single day. Because your subconscious mind, which is your powerhouse, is really running the show. You have a conscious mind, which is open and receiving information, but through repetition of either hearing something over again or seeing something over again, you're going to impress into your subconscious mind ideas that become a part of who you are. It becomes a part of your identity. It becomes your reality as well. Now, this takes work, effort, of course, but it's fun work. It's a lot of fun, and it produces nothing but amazing results, extraordinary results. And of course, me and my team here at DDI, as I mentioned, Kayla's here with us, and Roddy is here with us. That's all we want for you. Oh, I love that. Catriona Jones says, Power Life Script is one of my favorite tools for manifesting. It works. Catriona, I mean, there's an example of a woman who's wildly successful, and just love her attitude. And she's a coach as well. She, helps people live their dream life as well. But yet, a lot of people assume, well, they must have it all together. We do the work as well. And I will honestly and sincerely share with you that the Power Life Script is the most effective method I have ever applied in my life. Most effective method ever. It has absolutely changed my life in every way for the better. For the better. All right. So if you aren't familiar with it, then I suggest that you check out powerlifescript.com and take a look at that, because your wonderful future is definitely worth it. Okay, so I'm going to go to questions as well. So I know I have, yeah, okay. So think thoughts that feel good is asking the question. And thank you, Kayla, for capturing that question. So essentially, be like a child and pretend all the time. Yes. Thank you. Roddy got the question as well. Thank you both. All right. So is that what I mean? Now, let me clarify this for you, because I want to ensure that it's really clear and there's no confusion. So do you pretend like childlike, every day? Is that the answer? I'm going to say yes, partially. But here's why I'm saying partially. You have to really believe it. You've got to believe it in your heart. So when I think about the word pretend, it's a wonderful word, and it's definitely the way that actors become exceedingly effective actors, is by taking on a role and being so believable that this earns them Academy Awards, right? And because they're so good at portraying that particular person. So definitely, like, you want to be walking around all day long feeling like you are already the success that you desire to be. Okay, so you have to define what that means. Okay, what does that mean for you? What does it mean? And this is a suggestion for anyone that wants to follow through. Of course, anyone who's feeling stuck. What does it mean for you to be successful? What would that be like for you? And you define it and you take the time. This is your life we're talking about here. You take the time to invest in really getting clarity around what does that feel like for you. And then once you have that clear description of what it would be like, when you have accomplished all the things that you set for yourself, when you wake up in the morning, that's the shoes that you put on, the role of that person. That's who you're portraying to the world. You're a confident person, you're successful, maybe you're a multimillionaire, whatever that happens to be. Perhaps a New York Times bestselling author, because I know that's a goal for some people. So knowing that you've already done that, how are you feeling? How are you walking? What are you doing throughout the day? What are you appreciating? What are you grateful for? And so your code of conduct is the code of conduct of someone that's already the success that you desire to be. And it must be sincere. That's why I wanted to expand on the word pretend. It's not just like when we were little girls, we used to pretend and play dolls and things like that. It really must be a sincere, genuine sense of knowing, like a knowing that it's already done. Now, when I say the word knowing, I want you to know that knowing is really faith, and faith is a muscle. It's an emotional muscle that you must build and build and build every day. Your Power Life script will contribute to building those muscles. It's almost like something that's exercising your mind without you doing anything, because you're just putting it in, you're putting it in, you're putting it into your consciousness through the space-time repetition. Now, one of the things that I do is I have a nighttime version of my Power Life script, and I let it play while I'm sleeping. And as it's playing, because I'm asleep, your subconscious mind is wide open. It's going in. That information is going in. So I'm literally reprogramming my subconscious mind while I sleep. And anyone can do that. Any one of you can do that. All right. So thank you for asking the question. I really appreciate you. Okay. We have another question here. And this one is from Gurinder. And it says, having completed my master's degree in human resources, I had it all figured out that I will be amazing at my 9 to 5 job. I got married. From the outside, my life looked incredible. Oh, I think there's more. Oh, but I'm struggling between a job that doesn't interest me, but giving me livelihood and passion of coaching, which, oh, I think there's more coming. Okay. All right. All right. Here's, I'm going to, answer this question, even though it's not all there just yet, but let me answer that question. And I suspect that there's a number of people that are doing work that they're not feeling that it's fulfilling. And, maybe rewarding financially, which is wonderful. And it's something that we can definitely be grateful for. So what I would suggest is decide what it is that you really want to do with your career. Determine what that is and get really clear on what that would feel like as well. How much money would you be earning? And, job and passion, have to choose one. No, not necessarily. You can absolutely have your job be your passion as well. I incorporated my company in 1994. So we're in 2022 right now. So that was, quite a while ago. And so this is my passion. I wake up every day and do my passion. But what I did was I started my business, I incorporated the company, and I began to do the work part-time before I jumped into the work full-time. And it wasn't and so I didn't just cut the cord of the corporate job and dive into doing what I'm doing now. Now, at that time, I was a single mom as well. And my priority is and will always be my family. And so as a single mom of a young son, my priority was obviously taking care of my son. And so when my son was with his dad, because I divorced when my son was 2.5, when my son was with my dad or with his dad, I worked. When he was with me, I gave him my attention, undivided attention. And so that's the way I had my balance set up. And so I created this success in my life while I was doing the other work. But none of it has to be hard. It does not have to drain you completely. You can approach it from a wonderful attitude of this is going to be fun and enjoyable. And when you are doing your passion, you're going to find that the work is fun and enjoyable. And even if you don't know yet exactly what you want to do, if you desire to be a coach, we can help you with that. We have a division called Destiny Coaches, and you can check it out by going to destinycoaches.com. Or if you're not sure, you can get into MSI Entrepreneur. You can go to MSI Entrepreneur. I teach people how to find their passion and do the work that they're passionate about. But the truth is this: when you decide that's what you're going to do, you're going to find the solution. You'll find the way. You understand you're not going to have all the clarity. It's not going to be very clear. This is the step. This is the next step. This is the next step. This is the next step. You've got to trust. Now, that can be a challenge for some people. But when you get really good at it, you'll discover that it's a great way of being. Also, in any business, we're here to serve, right? We're here to serve. We're here to bring value to other people's lives. And when you do that, you will be compensated. You will be rewarded. Okay, so have faith. Make a decision that you're going to be doing work that you're deeply passionate about, that you're financially rewarded, And if you'd like us to help in some way, we're happy to help you as well. Okay, I've got a couple more questions that are coming in here. Thank you, Roddy, for grabbing them. Here it is. If I did not have a goal, I would not feel stuck. If I didn't desire, I would not feel stuck, frustrated. Please emphasize the outrageous power of our mind and harnessing that to allow in the goal. Okay, so you're associating that by having a goal, it creates the feeling of being stuck. Not true. You're creating that scenario in your own mind, and that is not going to serve you. So it's very easy to determine if we're having thoughts or feelings that don't serve us. Do you know how to determine whether you have a thought or a feeling that doesn't serve you? By how you feel, right? If you think the thought is not good, it's not going to serve you, right? What do you do with it? Flush it. Get rid of it. It's not going to serve you. And so having a goal is a wonderful experience. It is an invitation to grow. And accomplishing a goal, the biggest benefit of accomplishing any goal is not that you'll get the goal. The biggest benefit is who you become in the process. You got to look at the positive side of things. You got to recognize that by having goals and by creating the outcome of your goals, you are growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying. Nothing stays the same. Absolutely nothing stays the same. Having goals is an exceedingly positive experience, very positive experience. So you definitely want to have goals. I would change the way you look at it. Your perception is off. Your perception is not serving you. I would choose to look at it in a way that's going to serve you. So having a goal is a very positive thing. Having a goal invites growth. Having a goal invites you to accomplish and to experience things you never would have accomplished if you never had the goal in the first place. So just an invitation to shift the way of thinking. Okay, Indra says, this is a bit I find tough, being there when I'm not, living as if. Okay, good. There we go. Somebody wrote, whatever you believe you can achieve. Absolutely true. Okay, so what I would like to say about if you find it tough being there when you're not or living as if you think that acting as if or pretending or using your imagination is tough, what are you going to experience? It being tough, right? Change the way you look at it. It's not tough at all. It's easy and it's fun. Now, just for a moment, imagine it's easy to act as if. Imagine that. Now, I suppose there's people that are on with us right now who absolutely know that. I'm one of them. If I asked Kayla, I'm sure she would be the same. Yes. Now, why would it be that some find it easier than others? Because they've been putting it into practice and because they approached it with a really positive expectation. One of the signs that I have on my desk is this, and I would suggest you write it out and put it in front of you so that you see it every day. And the sign that I have in front of me says, I live in the joyous expectancy of the best. Now, can you imagine what your life would be like when you are living in the joyous expectancy of the best? What would your life be like when you're living your life that way? Remind yourself. Earlier, I was talking about a power life script. Create one. Even though your life may be like completely different to what you're writing or describing in your power life script, you can create an extraordinary life. You've got the power. So it's time to tap into that power, but you got to do some work. You got to move into action. So I talked today, excuse me, about Club Achieve, which is our study group. You could join that. We study together Monday through Friday, except holidays and not on weekends, but we study success. But it's not just a study. I explain what it means and how to apply it. Because I'll tell you this, if you're not understanding the materials that you're studying and applying it, things aren't likely going to change. And so it really is in the study and the understanding and the application where extraordinary results come from. And anyone can do it. Oh, all right, Roddy, thank you so much. Roddy has just reminded everyone that we're doing an event. It's free, completely free, next Friday, the 16th. And the event is called Mastery. Now, the subtitle is Master Your Key Emotions. So you can go to masteryourkeyemotions.com and sign up for it there. Okay, you're very welcome. The frustration with achieving the goal has grown from not achieving the goal. It's decade long. Let it go. Okay, let the frustration go. Frustration in this particular case may not serve you, especially if it's been there for a long, long time. Let it go. You know, there's an expression that I heard from Brian Proctor, who heard it from his dad, Bob Proctor, and it goes like this: you cannot change the time you got out of bed this morning. Think about that for a moment. You can't change the time you got out of bed this morning. Can't do anything about last week either, or the month before, or years. Let it go. You know what you have? You have right now this new moment, this moment to create. So I would suggest start fresh. You got a clean slate every day you wake up, and just make a decision. You're going to do something incredible today, something for you, something that serves you and serves your goals. Okay, another question just came in, and we'll wrap up with this one because we're at our 30-minute mark now. What if you have a partner or husband with more of a pessimistic attitude and I'm more of a realistic? It's hard to control or convert him. I wouldn't worry about converting him. Let that go. It's not your responsibility to convert him. And I can relate. My husband's not into the stuff I study, but I do not allow him to influence me at all. All right. I don't allow him to influence me. Now, we don't fight. It's not like an argument. I don't try and push my way of thinking down his throat or vice versa. We respect each other. We love each other. We've got a very happy, healthy marriage, but not everybody's into these materials. That's okay. You know, my husband's, I don't think he's rarely read any of my books. I think he's read a couple of them, but he isn't into the materials. But I don't need him to be. I don't need him to be, because you're the one that's in control of how you think, and you're the one that's in control of how you feel. My husband doesn't cause me to feel anything. He doesn't cause me to think anything. I know that. There's a great book by Terry Cole Whitaker called What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. And just think about that title for a moment. What someone else thinks of you is none of your business. When you know you're doing, the best you can with what you have, great, right? And the truth is this: it is rare out there in the world for people to think the way that I think. I know it's rare, or even for you to accept these ideas. But I'll tell you this, it's changed my life in every way. In every way, my life has been changed for the better. And I have observed and witnessed and guided others to change their lives too. And it's possible. And we can make the change. We can make only positive changes in our life. But I can't do it for you. I can guide you. I could teach you, could mentor you perhaps, but it's up to you to do the work. It's like that wonderful little statement that goes like this: if it is to be, it is up to me. If it is to be, it is up to me. Not me, Peggy McColl, but you, right? So you find the guidance and you follow through. So today we're talking about getting unstuck. I gave suggestions, ideas, implementation, strategies. Implement, follow through and implement, and you'll very likely be amazed at what you can create. If I think about where I came from, from a very, very poor family. I was the youngest of 4 children, living in a tiny little house, went to school in ripped clothes. We were, it was a very dysfunctional home. It is what it is, right? I'm blessing it. I'm grateful for it because it helped me understand. It helped me understand, what it's like to struggle. It helped me understand what it's like to be in emotional pain. It helped me understand what it's like to not have a will to live. Now, I have no intention to go back there, but I've been there and understand it. Been through lots of experiences in my life. But I learned that we're the one that's in control of what we think, and we're the ones that are in control of how we feel, and we're the ones that are at the wheel as well. So where do you want to go? Where do you really, really want to go? And so join us next week for our event, totally free, 3 straight hours of guidance. It's called Mastery. And we have a URL, Master Your Key Emotions. We're going to talk about emotional mastery and how that's very important to your creations, to your outcomes. Join us for free next Friday, the 16th, And if you would like to find out more information, just go to masteryourkeyemotions.com. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Roddy. I really appreciate you guys. Appreciate you joining me, and we'll see you again real soon.